We'll start your week with some details on Braun Strowman's backstage heat in WWE. Plus, could Jake Paul be joining WWE? And a title match has been added to next week's NXT. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Braun and Omos had themselves a big boy battle, didn't they?
It wasn't too bad of a big boy battle there, Tom.
It was such a big sweaty men fight that Vince McMahon felt inclined to go out for dinner to celebrate it.
It was such a big sweaty man battle that Vince McMahon, as you can see by the state of his hair, de-aged 35 years and lost all of his greys. That's how much life it gave him.
Whilst Vince was doing some unbelievable maneuvers, Braun and Omos had themselves a war. And you know what? They were very happy with themselves on the way back.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, Braun Strowman put out a lovely tweet, which I think was meant with good intention, but upset some people. Holy hell, Omos, can you believe we got 47 5-star?
I can't even do that maths.
Quick maths, a lot of stars, and reminded the people that no one cares about all these floppy floppers. Giants and monsters greater than Flippy Flipper bag your groceries at Kroger. Hashtag airport test. Hashtag size is the prize. Hashtag swole is the goal.
There are hashtags I live my life by.
Hashtag airport test.
No. No, I meant my massive winky. It's a weird one from Braun Strowman, obviously, because there are a lot of professional wrestling legends who fit into what he would call the floppy floppers.
I believe they were a Survivor Series team in 1987. A few people got upset by his comments. Mustafa Ali tweeting, "Can you teach me how to get fired?"
Boom! Yes! Shake the room, Mustafa. Fantastic scenes there.
Braun Strowman consolated the goal with, "Don't you work in catering now?"
Oh, get some new material, Braun. I bet he's heard that one 50 million times. Chris Jericho also got involved. I reckon he could be considered, in years gone by, I guess, as a floppy flopper. Not just for his moves, but for his hair as well.
Yeah, floppy hair, the floppiest hair.
But he tweeted, "I used to buy groceries," and then Braun responded, "Me too, made great tips."
I wonder, was it just like a bit of jet lag from Braun?
I reckon he was pissed on the flight, surely. Because there was a video on his Instagram stories of him having a little bit of champagne when he got on the plane. So I reckon he might have. How many champagnes would it take for Braun Strowman to drunk tweet?
I think he had 5 champagnes and then another 5, and then went, "Well, do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to call out those floppy floppers." We're all a bit floppo after 5 champagnes, though, let's be honest. Will Ospreay put out a tweet saying, "Why are you so mad about making money? It's dead funny that you've actually done such a great job, and yet you're mad at other people that do the same job as you. Relax, my guy. Just say you really enjoyed showing super heavyweight wrestling." Braun Strowman replied to this with, "Not at all, not mad at all, brother. Just love watching the IWC melt, lol. Mad respect to the high flyers. I just love firing up the internet. Was on a 10-hour flight, made for some good reading, lol."
Fantastic. Will Ospreay, the voice of reason there.
But I don't know why Braun would want to do like a 10-hour flight. Surely you get every movie ever on a flight these days. Just watch the film.
Take your PSP. That's what I'd do.
Yeah,
have a little game of FIFA 2006. What the hell's wrong with that?
Oh, that's a great flight.
Fantastic.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, later, so he started the backtrack there because Will Ospreay completely owned him on Twitter. But Braun then went the full hog, hee-haw, with the backtracking when he said, "Yo, it's crime." No, it's not crime time. To all my brothers and sisters in the locker room, no matter where you come from, I have mad respect. We have all worked very hard to be where we are, and all are here for a reason. Take a joke, IWC. Y'all come at me non-stop, and the second I fire back, y'all melt."
It was a U-turn that you could see on the in-flight map.
So Chris Jericho, you're the IWC. Will Ospreay, you're the IWC. Mustafa Ali, you're the IWC too, because they're the ones that melted.
They did, and a few other people did a melt as well, but mainly them ones. Mike Johnson was on PW Insider Elite.
You said Brian Johnson there?
Mike Johnson.
Oh, I thought you said Brian.
No,
Shades of AC/DC on the PW Insider.
Oh, Brian. Top marks for not trying. Mike Johnson of Brian W Insider Elite says, "One of the things I heard from multiple people, and we're talking 4 different people, I have 4 friends, was that there are times where Strowman is negligent when it comes to showing up on time. He has a reputation at times for leaving a little early and sometimes makes mistakes in terms of etiquette in the backstage scene and the locker room, and is sometimes, as one person put it, quote, his own worst enemy and, quote, his worst advocate. Sort of suggesting there that Braun might not be massively favourable backstage for one reason or another.
Well, you know who else was famous for that kind of thing? Bret Hitman Hart. And he was a floppy flopper. So if that's good for a floppy flopper, it's good for a Braun Strowman as well.
And Mike Johnson continues saying they will be high on him, and just when he gets to the point where you think the next step will be putting him in the centerpiece position for the company, something happens and he makes some kind of misstep backstage, and people within management kind of cool on him and they take a step back. And that's pretty true to form, actually, isn't it, with Braun?
When I saw this yesterday happen on the Twitter machine, my thoughts went back to the pandemic, because Braun Strowman had a little bit of a hoo-ha then, didn't he? Because he had a go at professional wrestlers who were affected by, the global pandemic that shut down wrestling, and a lot of earning opportunities for wrestlers who had to do shows in the flesh with other human beings. He says, here we go, with more somebody pay for my bills kind of stuff. If you can't afford to pay your bills, maybe you should change professions. That's why I quit strongman. I loved it, but I couldn't afford it to live. So instead of making a living, he's just basically having to go at people for not making money when they couldn't make money. And you would think after losing his job last year, it would humble him a bit and maybe see things from a different perspective, but clearly not. He still has disdain for everybody who's not making millions.
See, the thing is, right, if you're not making money, just go do something else during a pandemic.
It sounds like a certain political party over here, doesn't it? Just go and get a better job.
You can live on 2 apples a week. Go forage for mushrooms, you plebs.
You can pay for BP's profits. You just go and get a better job there. You work in Tesco. Do you go and be a lawyer?
General election.
Straight away.
General election now. Let's end on a little bit of news from NXT. A week tomorrow. Come a week Tuesday.
What's
happening?
It's
happening, Ross.
Everybody needs to brace themselves, because come Tuesday is going to be NXT champion.
That was what I thought when I saw this happening really quickly.
Oh boy. Because Apollo Crews, yes, he has the visions, and yes, he can predict the future, and yes, he has seen himself with the NXT Championship in the future, but I don't think he's factored income. Von Wagner, for people who don't watch the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, who once upon a time cut a famous promo speaking about coming on a Tuesday. But Bron Breakker will defend his NXT Championship against come Tuesday, 1 week from tomorrow, as Tom just said there. The match was announced by Grayson Waller on a social media post yesterday, saying both will appear on the Grayson Waller Effect tomorrow, which is basically Miz TV, but with a fancy desk and different camera angles. It's wonderful.
I like how you explained come Tuesday. If you hadn't said it, did it, but explain it in a way that made people guess it even more. Explain it in a way that confused people.
Well, that is his secondary nickname is the International Man of Mystery come Tuesday, so it's something you need to tune in for. He would once upon a time go frolicking in the woods with Kyle O'Reilly, which led to Kyle O'Reilly leaving
him punching tires.
Yeah, just lifting logs like real men.
Looking up in the trees and seeing Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah, he was Solo Sikoa's big feud in NXT, where he became the street champ. Yeah, Robert Stone got put in a bin. Great times. Great times had by all.
Are we really feeling like he's going to be the next NXT champion?
I mean, I don't know if it's my heart or my head, Tom. I think my head would probably say, nah, it's more likely to be Apollo Crews. Just because he can predict the future and he's seen it with the thing. He's basically given a spoiler. He's ruined weeks of NXT TV there, Apollo Crews. But I would love, in the words of Kevin Keegan, I would love it. I would love it if he beat him.
WTF moments from Crown Jewel waiting for you on the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, they are
now. That was a good little time, wasn't it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Do you watch it?
I watched it this morning whilst I was doing the prep for the news at home, and Pablo does this thing where he'll go, oh, that laptop looks nice and warm, I'll just sit on that for a bit. So I just end up watching WTF moments and brushing my teeth. So
fair enough.
Nice start to the day.
Bloody hell.
So do check out the latest WTF moments and what happened.
Are we not doing that big name there? Is that for a different video?
Oh, we didn't do that, did we?
No, we didn't. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, we'll add that in now.
We'll go for it, Tom.
We didn't
We're
mention
professionals.
This. We got very distracted by all that other stuff.
Come.
Let's talk about Jake Paul.
Baby. Basically, is Jake Paul going to join WWE? If you saw him on the Twitter machine just after Crown Jewel, he's posting pictures with Brock Lesnar. He's calling out the Usos, but calling them, I don't know if I can say it on the news video. We'll go for it. What do you call them? The
Pusos?
Pussy poopa, whatever they're called.
Well, he called them
the
a
floppy
name.
floppers. That's what he called them.
Call them a name.
But basically, he had an interview with Seconds Out where he spoke about potential future in the WWE, where he said, for sure, why not? That was so much fun, and I know we could take it a long way. And yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about it. And then everyone here, everyone in the WWE was super nice, super helpful. So it just seems like an amazing company to be a part of. Who knows? It feels like just a start for sure. And then he later hinted that Logan could indeed become WWE champion, which why not?
Him and Logan possibly becoming the WWE champions. Maybe they'll beat the Usos, the Pusos.
I was thinking to myself, like, just with seeing Jake Paul calling out, I forget what he called them. Put them up there, Owen. Why not? I'm sure it was like the Pussies or Pusos or something like that. We could see War Games obviously on the horizon. I'm saying, because the Usos are in a feud with the Braun and Brutes, so there's a number of people there. Roman and Logan, Jake and Solo. Sammy's there as well. So basically 5 with the Braun and Brutes and the Pauls against the Bloodline in the War Games could be a thing.
Now, Logan Paul probably not a factor in that. He posted on Twitter shortly after his match that he tore his meniscus, his MCL, and potentially his ACL. However, he tore it halfway through the match.
Yeah.
You would not have known.
No, you wouldn't.
I had no inkling that he'd done any damage during that match.
I reckon he's working us, Marks.
Oh,
the IWC that Braun Strowman has a lot of disdain for.
We do melt a lot,
I
don't
reckon
we?
it's just a thing to garner sympathy and adoration for what he did in that professional wrestling ring. As if he would need that after what he did.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? But on the Jake Paul front, though, while Jake Paul seems up for it, PW insiders say, while there are no current concrete plans, there is a lot of interest on both sides to do something when the time is right. I think after what he did at Crown Jewel, I think they won't. They can't resist bringing him in.
He's a massive knob, but there's no doubt about it. It would be good for the business because we're trying to bring down that median age of viewer. We always hear about the NXT audience being 65, the average age, whatever it is there, something silly. Raw's in its 50s or something like that for the average age of the viewer. So bringing in people like Jake and Logan Paul is obviously going to try, well, I would assume work in, bringing down that average age of the viewer. Which I guess is a good thing.
It's not a bad shout to do, is it?
Yeah.
Bring them down. Get more YouTubers in there.
It is terrible.
KSI, Mr. Beast.
I will go.
Ross Sweddle.
Me and Chris Van Vliet will take you on. Chris Van Vliet will do all the work. I'll stand behind him and clap.
That's an offer there if you ever needed one. More wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Up where the floppy floppers, yeah. You're the floppy floppers, yeah. We're all floppy floppies, yeah. Floppy 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 floppy.